has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everyone, welcome to the Ghost Biker Garage. I'm your host, the Ghost Biker, and I'm officially up in Scott County. I am here at the historic and extremely haunted historic Scott County Jail. So want to thank everyone so much for tuning in tonight and for tuning in for the last couple weeks. We have had some great shows. And if you tuned in last week, we had Mr. Greg Bakken, and we talked about ITC specifically, as well as his radio show and his event company. And he shared some really cool EVPs and evidence with us tonight. That night. And we had a great time with it. And so tonight we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be having special guest on tonight that's going to be sharing some of their captures and finds as well. So we're very excited about that. Always love having folks on when we can share and talk about different evidence. So want to say hello to some people over here in the chat room. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week, tuning in every week. We really appreciate seeing those familiar faces here. Hello to Mr. Alex Lau and Mr. Sylvain. It is wonderful to see you. Mitchell Ross, hope you're out and about riding and doing a lot of great things. Nancy Weems, and to the real zombie herself, Miss Sonia Thompson. Thank you all again so much. And to Mr. Brian Laverty. We are broadcasting live here on on the Ghost Biker Garage on YouTube, on Facebook, and then also on Parapost 2 International. So hello to our friends across the pond. We're glad to be here. And then also we're on Mix 104.1, My Mix TV. So happy to be here. Happy to be here in April and moving forward with some really cool events. I do want to share just some cool things that we've got going on at the historic Scott County Jail, as well as Ghost Biker Explorations. This event is coming up this Saturday, and we can't wait. This is our second annual Blessing of the Bikes. Start off motorcycle season right and come by the historic Scott County Jail on Saturday, April 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We met with our food truck today, Dean's Pit Stop, and they're going to be coming by. They're going to be actually serving country breakfast from about 9 a.m. till right around 10:30, 11 o'clock. They're going to have, biscuits, gravy, pancakes, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, all kind of cool things. I need to pull their menu to say for sure, but then they'll be serving some lunch items after that. So if you ride a motorcycle, bring that bike out and get your blessing. And again, start that season off right. The Servants of Jesus 1256 chapter is going to be here. They're the chapter of the Christian Motorcyclists Association, and they're going to be coming in blessing motorcycles. They've got some really cool it's like a blessing packet that they give you whenever you come through, and then also come by, eat. And I thought I had them sitting here beside me, but I don't. They're sitting not within arm's reach, but we've got some great custom made stickers that we're going to be giving away if you come and take a tour of the jail. The event is free, but you need to purchase the food from the food truck, and we've got tickets to come and tour the museum. And with your purchase of a ticket to the museum, you will get one of those free Blessing of the Bike stickers. And so it's custom for the jail here, and it's got the logo that we designed here. So very, very excited about this event. Even if you don't ride a motorcycle, we come on out, get some food from Dean's Pit Stop, and take a tour of the jail and have just come and meet with us. It's going to be a great day. And it looks like the weather is going to be perfect. It's going to be sunny, 78 degrees. And Dean's Pit Stop even said that if things are really busy, they'll even stick around later than the event. So again, that's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Come on out here to the historic Scott County Jail. We're going to have the road closed down right in front of the jail where you can just ride your motorcycle right on up. Also, we do have escape rooms opened up for the jail here as well. We've got those most nights from Thursday to Sunday night here at the jail. You can come in. The times available are 4 p.m., 6 p.m., and 7:45 p.m. Those dates are to be booked on www.historicscottcojail.com. We also have the information on our Facebook page. We don't have very many flashlight tours on the schedule this month because we're almost completely booked up with private events and private paranormal investigations. Pretty much every weekend this month, we do have investigations. We've had them for the last couple weekends, and we're happy to say that we're booked up for this entire month, other than just a Friday here and there and a Sunday. So if you're interested in coming in, we do have those dates available in April, and we do have some weekends available during the remainder of the year. So you can book those by going to the paranormal tab of the historic Scott County Jail page. Been very active the last little bit. Some of the different teams that's come in, they've been playing some of the things that they've captured, and it's blowing our minds with some of the things that they're getting here. Some of these disembodied voices and photos that people are getting. You just got to come out and experience it for yourself. Also, if I can get this pulled up, I love talking about the different paracons and such that's coming up here. And next weekend, April 22nd, is Enigma Cons, which is at St. Albans. And I just saw their post. I know Mr. Ronnie Anderson is typically in our chat room over there. I just saw their post that they have officially sold out of their VIP tickets. So I can't wait to see everyone there. This is going to be my third year going, my second year speaking, and it's always such a great event, especially there at St. Albans. So if you've got tickets to that, looking forward to seeing you out there. If not, I know that I think you can come and see the vendors, but during the day, they've got vendors going on as well as speakers. I think I'm speaking at 2:00 at the Grand Staircase. You can see all of this information at on the St. Albans website, as well as on the Enigma Cons website. They've got the links and everything. I'll go and see about getting the schedule pulled up on the page there, which they've got a full day of speakers on the schedule. They also have an escape room there that Mr. Alan May from and of course my mind is going blank. He set this up at Bedford Paranormal. Yes, Mr. Alan May from Bedford Paranormal. He set up this wonderful escape room that they have there at the sanatorium. And he said it's new this year. Last year it was a big hit. So you can get your tickets for that while they last during the day while the speakers are speaking. Go and check out the escape room. So I will, before the end of the show, I will make sure to go ahead and pull that information up. That way we've got the link. We post it all the time, but it's got the link to the speakers and such on there. I believe that is all that we've got going on. Just want to mention, last weekend we did have a really cool guest on the Jailhouse Informant podcast last Sunday night. If you want to go check that out on the Historic Scott County Jail Facebook page and YouTube channel, it was a great interview with Ben Fuller. He is a Christian contemporary musician who filmed here at the jail, put out an amazing video, has a great story about the behind the video there, chasing rebels. So you can watch that video. You can also watch that interview on the Historic Scott County Jail Facebook page. So I'm going to go ahead, get to tonight's guest. Oh, wait, one more thing I want to mention. I forgot that I actually had this pulled up here. Speaking of motorcycle events, we are ready to be doing our third annual Harold Young Memorial Scholarship Dart Run. And if you guys have been following for the last 3 years, this is a scholarship that is named in honor of my dad. Ghost Biker Explorations is extremely honored to be a sponsor of this and to be partnering with the Widow's Sons Masonic Riders Association Hillbilly chapter out of Robbins, Tennessee here. And the other sponsors are the jail as well as Dilligaff Motorcycle Shop and Smashed Thumb. We're very excited about this because every year we do this dart run. There's 3 stops. It's $20 per player. All vehicles are welcome. We do tailor to motorcycles, but every vehicle is welcome, so you don't have to ride. Your price includes your meal ticket. It also includes 3 games of darts. The winner does get a last year it was a really cool trophy that the winner got. But the first stop is going to be at the Scott County Masonic Lodge, 670 F and AM down at Sims Road in Robbins. The final stop is going to be at the historic Scott County Jail. And so the winner of the scholarship for the last 2 years has received $1,000 scholarship. And my dad, he was an educator and he was a scientist. He taught chemistry and physics, and so this scholarship is named in his honor. He did pass away in 2019, and so the scholarship goes to in order to be a recipient of the scholarship, you have to be a student at Scott High School and majoring in the field of science. Last year we gave it away to a girl who was going into nursing. So we have picked this year's winner, which we will be announcing at the dart run. But over the next little bit we will be showing some videos from the past 2 years. And I know a lot of you folks have actually either come to the dart run or you've sent in donations to this scholarship. And so we appreciate that. We will have links to where if you can't make it, where you will be able to go and donate. So very excited about this, to be a part of that again this year and to be partnering with the Masons. So more information to come on that really soon, but that will be on May 20th. And we're hoping for good weather and also hoping, for a really good turnout again this year, because this year's student will also get $1,000 scholarship. So anyways, I want to go ahead and introduce tonight's guest because, again, I love having folks come on to the show from other parts of the country and talk about some of the different locations that they've investigated. And tonight we've got Mr. Michael Wong. Michael is a paranormal investigator from Bellingham, Washington. He started working with the paranormal community a little over 2 years ago and is lead investigator with PN Paranormal. Outside of the paranormal, Michael enjoys sports such as basketball, football, and snowboarding, and he's currently learning to play the guitar. And so he's also provided us with some really great evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome Mr. Michael Wong. Hey, Michael.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and join us tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so we connected I guess a couple months ago about coming on to the show. Why don't you go ahead and kind of start us off by talking about how you got started in the paranormal?
Well, it's kind of a guy goes way back. So, like growing up, I really enjoyed like watching all the scary ghost shows, like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, just all those shows growing up, and I was just really fascinated with it. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, I don't know if I really believe in ghosts, but I just want to go experience it. And then after that, around like high school, I didn't really, my mind was kind of off of to something else. And from there, I was trying out for basketball, which is one of my favorite sports. And I got cut from the team like 3 times. But after the first time I got cut, I really wanted to just be part of the team still, even if I wasn't playing. So the head coach was like, well, um, there's a manager position going up. So if you want to be part of the team, you can be in that position, and then you can come to our practices and stuff. So I would follow the team to all their games. I filmed their games, and that's kind of where it sparked my like um filming and stuff. And I
Mhm.
never filmed before. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then after that, probably going to where it's almost like 2.5 years from now, but around the middle of the pandemic, I really want to like do something, which was I want to like go investigate ghosts and stuff. So I was like, well, I really had that idea back in high school, and now I want to like relive it back. So, and that's where I practically started to where I'm at now. And my very first investigation started in at the Montana State Prison in Deer Lodge,
Wow.
Montana, and that's kind of the story. I really love the show. I learned filming just from filming basketball games in high school, and then around the beginning of pandemic, that's where I really wanted to get this thing started, and here I am today.
That's a great location to start investigating or to have as your first investigation.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the scariest experience for just first one ever, and I'm like, wow, this is insane. Like this is really cool, and it was one of those who was that? It was hosted by I think it was Ghost Hunt USA, where they
Okay.
have like various locations, and I wanted to join, and so there's a bunch of people in this one room, and then I think after the first couple hours they do thing called like free roam, so you get one of the
Mhm.
equipments and you can go roam around the prisons, go to some spots that are hot spots, and just go do your thing.
Nice, nice. Well, so after that, did you form a team at that point, or are you more of a solo investigator?
I'm more of a solo investigator. I definitely would love to bring more people on, but it's kind of hard finding the people that are interested. So for now, I'm just a solo investigator going to all these haunted locations, which could be scary, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun because I love learning the history and just everything paranormal wise, and I just love it.
Yeah, that's been one of the things that I found that's been one of my favorite things that's come out of the paranormal is the fact that it has really increased people's interest in the history and the preservation of these locations, as well as interest in filming these places. We've really started to see a rise in all of that after, because of paranormal investigating. What would you say probably your favorite location? Because of course I'm over here on the East Coast, and you being over on the West Coast. What's one of your favorite locations to investigate
Oh,
over there?
that's a tough one. I would say probably this is kind of tied, but I'm just gonna choose this one because it's a tie, but it would be the St. James Hospital in Butte, Montana. It was definitely the creepiest hospital. Um, it's like 5 levels, and the hospital itself is probably like close to 100,000 square feet, and it was just there's always something happening because like all the windows and stuff are boarded up, and I had one friend to like kind of help me film, and I would just
Mhm.
kind of go do my thing, and it just seems like no matter where we're at, it's just like seems like there's a like feels like there's an actual person in the room or down the hallway. I'm like, did you hear that? Like we're literally not even moving. We're just staying still. We're trying to analyze. Okay, well, it's not windy. There's no open windows, and we're trying to debunk everything first, which I
Mhm.
think that's important. And then yeah, so that place was definitely gave me the creeps.
Did you was it just the 2 of you at that location?
Yes, yes, there
Oh,
was.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I would say it's like with any building you go into, like the basement was definitely like the creepiest for us because it's where the morgue was at, and it was just you just get that feeling like you're just not alone. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm getting creeps just even thinking about it.
Well, we've got a question here from Christy Sumner. She says, "How many investigations have you been able to conduct so far?"
Let's see. That's sorry, I gotta count. I believe that's about 9 or 10 investigations
Okay. Okay.
since 2020. So yeah,
So so I guess after you experienced your first activity, I guess you were bit by the bug at that point?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So whenever you conduct an investigation, I like that you said you go in and you essentially try to account for noise contamination as well as, trying to debunk and stuff. Whenever you go in, are there certain tools that are kind of your go-to tools whenever you go to these locations?
I really love using the REM pod. That's my favorite one. But the one that I don't really have that I really would use majority of the time would be the SLS, the structure light sensor camera.
Hmm.
I think that device is a very great tool when it comes to capturing something visual, even though you may not see with your own eyes in real life,
Hmm.
but just seeing it on a screen and being able to communicate, having it, oh, can you do this? Can you, I don't know, like walk or something? I think that's a
Hmm.
great way to gather intelligent responses, and I love that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the REM pod, the SLS camera, I like using the EVP recorder, just capturing Class A EVPs is just it's amazing when you're able to communicate from something that's in the spiritual realm.
Absolutely. So we've got a couple more questions here, and just want to say hello to our folks that are just joining us, Mr. Ronnie Anderson, Mr. Dino from the Late Late Horror Show. Christy says, do you film and edit your footage, or do you film lives for your investigations?
Most of the places I go to, they don't really have good connection or they don't really have Wi-Fi. So most of the time, or 100% of the time, I edit my own videos, and
Okay.
it's really hard. But if there's a place where I go to in the future that does have, good connection or
Hmm.
Wi-Fi or anything, I would love to just film it live
A
and get
recap of all
people's
my
Hmm.
real live reactions to what did I just capture and stuff.
Yeah, and I was looking here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up your I'm going to pull up your
Okay.
website and your Facebook, or excuse me, your YouTube channel, since that's what we were just talking about. You do a very nice job with your videos, I've got to
Thank you.
say.
Thank you.
And we were just actually just talking just before the show about video editing and everything. And so we do have Matthew's links there for PN Paranormal on the in the show notes, but I do want to go ahead and also put these in here. So kind of just tell me a little bit about your process and stuff with your videos.
So when I gather my footage, I usually always start off by just learning the history. Because, if you don't know the history, then it's gonna be really hard to do your investigation. Like, well, what happened here? Who's the person that, was, killed here, or what made this place haunted? So I always learn the history first, and then after that, in the beginning of my videos, I love to just do one-on-one interviews with people experiences, people who are local to area, ex-employees, current employees, and just kind of gather what their experience was. And after that, that's where I will choose the interviews that's really most appealing. I would love to include everything, but sometimes I don't want to make the video just all about the history. I want to gather the
Mhm.
most important factors in it, and then after that, um, I then put together all the entire nighttime footage, which could
Mhm.
be 2 hours, 3 hours, and after that, I'll watch through everything. I at least watch it at least a couple times because the first time I may have missed something that, oh my God, I didn't see it because it just happened so fast. And then after that, I just go through. I put the parts that are very frightening, spooky, and then after that,
Mhm.
I would go back and make sure the sounds are good, and then I'll put in all the text of what, like, if I'm holding some sort of device, I would love to explain what this means to them, like how do I use this, how can I apply this, and then after I'll put in like, oh, what room am I in, or something like that, and then after that I put my end credits, and that's about it. And I'm just now gathering a good rhythm of looking to try to be consistent, but also just I just love editing, and I always learn something new every day during the process.
Like I said, I mean they're very nicely put together with the combination of, because I mean, if for people who have watched my videos, Soul Sisters videos,
Hmm.
and some of the folks that I like to collaborate with, um, the history and the interviews, as well as the that part of the investigation, is always some of the most important, as far as setting up the scene as to why you're there. And so it's nice to see another content creator that is doing the same kind of style. I like that, but being
Absolutely.
original about it.
Yeah, of course.
And let's see here. Janet, she says, what is the most important thing you've learned since your first investigation?
I
Great
learned
question.
I learned that. Thank you for the question. It was Janet who asked that.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet, for that question. I think one thing I learned is, when you go ghost hunting, it's not like immediately you capture something. It's more of like a patient game. So you just kind of have to like wait because depending on location, there could be lots of activity that can happen now, or maybe you'll get one thing happen, then a few hours later, then you'll get something. So it just kind of depends. I just learned to be patient and just kind of don't rush anything because every location you go to is different.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're often telling people here when we do our guided ghost hunts here is that, it's not always like you see on TV.
Hmm.
There's not always that dramatic moment. There's being patient and having an open mind. So,
Absolutely.
um, let's see here. Just looking through the comments, Janet also says, "Ooh, the Goldfield Hotel is creepy. You're so brave to go there."
Oh, I tried. That was, I guess, the best way to describe it, like the kind of like that first interview with the tour guide. That was the fourth floor, and that was pretty much where the infamous two cowboys were having a shoot off because one of them happened to be cheating at the card game, and I honestly just felt like I wasn't welcome. I got that anxiety feeling like, okay, you're not welcome. I want you to leave, type of thing. And it was just super scary just experiencing that.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of great people here in the chat room here with some good comments. Ben says, "Always love your videos, PN Paranormal."
Thank you, Ben. I really love the support. Thank you.
And Ronnie asks, he says, "What editing programs do you prefer to use?"
I've really only mainly used one, which that is Adobe Premiere Pro, and I personally love just like the process of it. It's easy to get to a certain action when you want to make um, you want to make this cut, you want to make this add on to it. So I use that one mainly, and I love it.
Nice. And then thank you all so much for the questions over here. Chris Sumner says, "What has been your favorite experience or evidence capture so far?"
My favorite evidence. Wow, that's a tough one, but I would honestly say it was my, and this is technically, I would consider this my very, very first investigation. The one where I mentioned about at the Montana State Prison. That was technically in a group in a way, so I don't know if that's not really private, but my very
Mhm.
first private was in Montana at this brothel called the Dumas Brothel, which I'm not trying leak anything, but I will be returning there sometime next month, and I will be filming there. And but there was a scary experience where we were upstairs on the second floor in one of the rooms, and I was sitting on the bed looking in the hallway, and the guy that you see in that video, if you
Mhm.
want, pull that up. That's I think
Sure.
the third video from the oldest.
Okay,
Scroll all the
let's
way down, and it's the one on the bottom very left.
okay.
Says, yeah,
The
that
I
one.
caught an apparition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we were upstairs. I was sitting on bed looking out into the hallway, and the owner was sitting on this chair looking. There's a window right behind me. And he just said, "What is that?" And I was like, "What? What is that?" And he's like, "Oh, he's like, I literally just saw like a faceless, dark figure shadow just like looked like it was on the outside moving from like left to right. I look over, I was like, well, I mean, we're on the second level, so there's no way that there's no ladders, there's nothing, no fire escape ladder that you can climb to get up there. So I look like, yeah, that's really weird. And after that, like, there wasn't really a whole lot that really happened. But what was scary was what he saw that I didn't see was gave me bone chills because I didn't say this in the video, but I believe that what I capture was probably the exact same thing because I was in the basement and he was going to this old big room that used to be an old bar area.
Mhm.
And I wasn't even looking at my camera at that time. I was just kind of watching him, making sure that he's not gonna trip or anything. And then when I was panning my camera from right to left, there's this window, and um, pretty much what it looked like was exactly what he saw,
Mm-hmm.
and which was pretty much a faceless black apparition, just faceless, or there's a face, but there's no detail. All you see is just black, and it looked like it was peeking out the window from inside the room, and then as my camera's turning, it like
Mm-hmm.
looked like it was like hiding, trying to hide from the camera pretty much, and it was just me and him downstairs, no one else like in the building, and that was super creepy. If you
Wow.
want, we could play that.
Sure, sure. Do you remember which part of the video it was at?
So I think it's about try 16 minutes.
Okay.
How long's the video?
19.
Okay. Keep going. Look. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going to the right a little bit. And then
Oh, would that be?
skip like 20 more. I think it's right. Okay.
Okay, I'll put the
Okay.
sound onto
Now,
it.
yeah, and then he's gonna be coming out with the REM pod, and then if you want to go back a little bit, like go
Okay.
like 30 seconds back.
I'll put it on about 1657, and
Yeah.
I'll start the audio.
Okay. Okay.
Just let it roll, then we go just probably hang out downstairs and just kind of eat some snacks or something. Alright. And just kind of like let it go, let the. You're touching that, yeah. What's that? Oh, I was like, dang it, you're touching it. I thought I was like, yeah, oh, I probably get it. So yeah, I'm just gonna like, we're just gonna like leave it upstairs and just let it. Just now we captured something unusual. Here's a replay of the footage. We're just gonna like leave it upstairs and just. We're just gonna like leave it upstairs and just. Earlier we were in room 28 of that window we just passed. And you can see there's nothing leaning and hanging on the wall. So did we just capture an apparition? We're just gonna like leave it upstairs and just. I left the stacked night vision camera rolling upstairs in room 15. In exactly 4 minutes and 39 seconds, the camera caught the sounds of someone playing the piano.
Wow.
In exactly 5 minutes and 13 seconds, the camera caught what sounds like a woman laughing and screaming. In exactly 5 minutes and 39 seconds, the camera caught what sounds like a knock. Alright, everyone. That's it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. With that, I want to thank David for allowing me to investigate here at the Dumas.
Wow, that piano music was very cool, I thought.
And here's the thing: when I recorded that, no one was inside building because I told owner I need to go use the bathroom. And that building, that brothel, that building, there's no running plumbing or anything. So I had to like go and drive to like a gas station like a mile away. And he left because he was staying in the hotel because he's from like the east part of Montana. So literally, there's no one in that building. And I think it was about recording for like 30 minutes or something like that, and just happening hearing that piano, like it's like it feels like that piano's like inside that room, like you can hear it loud and clear, and there's nothing in that building that would cause it. And I'm just like, wow, like this is insane.
So there's no actual piano in that building.
No, there's no piano in there, which is like
okay.
I don't even how am I able how did this happen?
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing I can think is maybe there used to be a piano in there, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
someone was playing it, and then maybe this some sort of manipulation of a sound that was there, and they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
reenact by playing it or something like that. But yeah, there's no piano
Possibly
in there.
something residual or
Most
something
likely,
of that
yeah.
nature. Yeah. Wow.
And when you saw like, I know like if you at least play slower on the um on the video where I capture that apparition, if you want to pull that up again, you can definitely
Absolutely.
see, yeah, play like at point, I think 2.5 or 0.5 speed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is that one of them that you included, that you sent to me? Was that the Dumas brothel?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and let me pull that up here. Bear with me 1 second here. Okay,
No problem.
so I'm going to pull that up.
Oh, and I probably get it. So yeah, I'm just gonna we're just gonna leave it upstairs and just let it. Just now we captured something unusual. Here's a replay of the footage. We're just gonna leave it upstairs and just
Wow.
If you play on YouTube and you play a slower speed, I think it'll be easier because you'll see a little bit more detail in a way. If you want to do that one.
Does it allow me, let's see, to where do I set the speed on that?
It should be on the bottom, like bottom right,
settings?
where there's like a little settings, and then on there,
Playback
there should be-
speed.
yes, and then find the one that's I think 0.5. That'd be
Okay.
a good speed. And then try to then play again and
Let
see.
me find that here. Okay, it's buffering. Let me pull that up. Okay, let me find the time when that was. I think that was right around 17.
Keep going. Keep going. Right there, where that flashlight. Maybe skip like 2 more seconds.
Forward or backward?
Forward, like right there. You see that light?
Yes.
Go back like right there.
Okay.
I believe that's
And let me just make sure I have that setting to where you mentioned. Okay, playback on 0.5. Okay, here we go.
Now we capture something unusual. Here's a replay of the footage. We're just gonna leave it upstairs and
Wow.
We're just gonna leave it upstairs and earlier we were
I'm gonna play that again right quick, just right there.
Okay, no problem.
Replay of the footage.
Go back a little bit before I narrate this part. Okay, right here. You want to pause it for 1 second?
Sure.
Now try changing it to 0.25. I think it will be a little bit easier to for the speed. Yeah. Okay. And then I think this should be a little bit more clear to watch on that. Yeah.
Wow.
Now we capture something unusual. Here's a replay of the footage.
Wow. Huh.
And if you pause right now. Oh,
whoops.
If you can go back like 0.1 second, or I guess when it shows it with the red bar.
Yeah.
Pause. What you can see, at least I've noticed now, if in the kind of upper right hand inside the circle of that face, you can see there's definitely some sort of like
a nose.
Like a nose, or maybe like their hair might have been messed up, kind of something like that. And that definitely shows that there is something spiritual or something that's inside that room. Because I took a deep, obviously you can't see much, but so you're like a nose or some sort of like hair or something, but it definitely shows that they're like this, and then as the camera's coming from this way, it's like, oh shoot, I don't want to like be seen, and it's just like coming back behind that corner of the wall.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can see the movement, and then you can also. It'd be interesting to have you pulled like some of the shadow out to see if there is anything by pulling out.
I tried making it like darker or brighter, and there's really not a whole lot to it, not a whole lot of changes to it. Just
it probably just pixelates at that point and blows it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and here's a weird story. So when I showed during the interview, I didn't put this on the camera, but he was specifically saying that there's like three people, and on when you investigate there, he does not allow any Ouija board and stuff. And for me, I don't really like to mess with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These people were using it in there, so they opened it, they did whatever, and then they didn't close it properly from what he told me. And so, um, ever since that, those people didn't close it properly, there's been some sort of, in what he said, quote unquote, he said there's something demonic entity that's like haunting in that specific room. And
Okay.
potentially that could be potentially what I may have just captured. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I wasn't there when these people were there, so I don't know if it's true or not. But that's at least that's what he told me. And yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean that is a great capture, and lots of great comments over here in the chat room about that capture. Janet also says that she just subbed to your YouTube, and so she looks forward to checking out your videos as
well,
well.
thank you, Janet. I really
And
appreciate it.
uh, Kenny says, "Let's go! I love PRN Paranormal's videos, or
Thank
PN,
you.
not PRN." So let's show some of the other videos that you've sent. So I'm gonna have you set these up. Let before we show them, so that way you can talk about the investigation, talk about what we're gonna see. Let's look at the old Washoe Club.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so if you want to kind of tell us a little bit about that investigation. I know that's definitely a popular location that a lot of people like to investigate that I hope to get out to one day. So yeah, go ahead and kind of share a little bit about that investigation.
So the old Boss Show Club was one of like couple buildings that did not burn down in Goldfield. Um, sorry, not Goldfield. Virginia City. I'm getting all the cities in Nevada mixed up. In Virginia City, and that one and this like small church happened to be the only building remaining on um that wasn't burned down. But all the other buildings, like I think a year or so after the fire, they were all built. So every building you see now, if you visit, there's like close to like 150 years old. The Washoe Club, I believe it was built like in, I believe it was like 1870s, 1850s, somewhere around there. I can't remember. And upstairs was the Gentlemen's Club, where all the millionaires back then would gather for, like, for pleasure, for playing, drinking, playing, gambling, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And there's one um, prostitute that was murdered up there. I believe it's on the third floor. And after that, the person who murdered her went down to like the second level, and then he shot himself in the head. And those are at least the main two entities that still haunt that place. I'm sure there's more,
Mhm.
but at least from Y Capture, and I know I didn't send this to you, but we can also play um,
Okay.
on the video. So I was on the third floor, which I believe may have been um, where the woman was murdered, and I was like on this little room, and there's like checker floor, and the floor was like checkerboard, and I was like, can you make a knock like this? And I knocked the floor like 3 times, and then gave it about a few seconds, and I actually heard like a couple of knocks like out in the distance, like, oh my god, like that's insane. I've never caught anything that actually respond to my request, and that was
Oh,
super creepy.
yeah.
And
So we'll definitely make sure to play that one from YouTube. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
and Um, this is also so this first one, when I first started filming there at night, I just left my camera rolling because sometimes when you're not there,
Hmm.
sometimes you might capture something where you just kind of leave something rolling,
Yeah.
something might happen. And this is where I believe, because so it's near a staircase on the second level, and that's where the person who murdered the woman, he shot himself in the head.
Okay.
And in that moment right there, that's where I actually captured another apparition. It's not like what you saw with the brothel, but it's definitely, what is it? Um, it's just like it's like an actual ghost, but it's obviously lucent, and it
Uh-huh.
moves in front of the staircase, from like right to left. It's really hard to see, but I captured it, and it was it was crazy. I was like, there's
Okay.
no way. Like I thought that was like some sort of camera glitch or something. I was like, there's no way I just captured that. I feel like that was like fake. But then I did more analyzation. I brightened up the footage and stuff, and you can clearly see an actual like figure moving from right to left in front of the staircase. And I believe
Did
that could have been the actual person who murdered the woman.
did you see that in the moment, or was it one that you saw through your camera lens?
Well, I wasn't there. I actually just left it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just left it there, and when I was just reviewing it, there's no one upstairs, and I mean, that just
Okay.
that happened like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will go ahead and let me get that pulled up. All right, here we go.
Moving into the back room of the second floor, this happened.
So right there, we were placing a REM pod, and pretty much a REM pod is a device that sets up an electromagnetic field around this device. So it's pretty much like a sensor. So if you go around it and you touch it, it'll light up, and then it'll make that little beeping sound, meaning that something is interfering with the surrounding area around this device that's on. And so pretty much something may have passed through there. I know you can't really see because we're like walking towards the camera, and the floors there are super hard. There's no way to capture it. And I mean, there could be numerous reasons it could have gone off, but at least from when we were walking away, as soon as I turned around, I definitely something just didn't feel right. And then after you saw right there, I just bumped into. So there's like a long piece of plywood leaning against the wall. I was honestly startled and honestly kind of afraid, and that's where I bumped into it. And then my friend, Kurt's like, he was like, "There's something there." He's just like trying to scare her away or something.
Wow. We'll play that one more time, and then we'll go to your video there that you got on YouTube.
Okay.
As we were moving into the back room of the second floor, this happened.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Let's see here. And you tell me which one.
It's the one. I think it was facing. Go up. It's the one where there's a camera. So in the middle. So the second from the top row. That one right there. Yes.
This one?
That one.
Okay.
Yes.
All
And
right.
then
Do you know about what part?
go about like 5 minutes in. Let's see if that's the one.
I like that you keep your videos short. You cover a lot of information in your videos, from the history, the investigation, and then, but also, let's see here.
You might have to go back a little bit actually. So
Okay.
try around like the 3-minute mark. Go back a little bit. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Go.
Let me make sure I see where I've.
So right there. That's the part. But
Right
go
there?
back a little bit, like maybe like 10 seconds.
Do you want me to? Do I need to change the playback speed to a different rate? keep
Do
it?
like 0.75 if it
Okay.
gives you that option.
It did.
So go back like 5 seconds actually. Okay, and then play. Go back like 5 more seconds.
Okay, sure.
Right there. Okay, so right here I
Okay.
capture like someone's like knocking because there's no one up here. And then right now we're downstairs in the bar. We're just kind of waiting for my camera. Hopefully, maybe caught something. And I just want to leave it, see what I capture. So in this part, I think I capture like there was like a bang or something. But then
Okay.
after this part, that's where the apparition appeared.
Okay, I'll put the sound on there.
In approximately 24 minutes and 27 seconds, the camera caught this. If you look closely on the bottom 3 steps of the staircase, you can see a white translucent apparition moving from right to left. And earlier, before setting up the static night vision camera, I closed the 2 doors behind it to prevent any false reading of deeming this paranormal. And as you can see, there are no windows around the 2 closed doors. Therefore, did we just capture an apparition of Lena who was murdered here?
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that. Might have to play a slower speed, but
During my setup, I caught
I'll do a slightly slower speed, but you can see if you watch carefully.
yeah.
earlier before setting up.
See how mute the voice there. Yeah, if you watch carefully, I definitely recommend watching it with the lights off. So I get a little bit of glare on my screen here, but I can see once it gets off to the side, I can see something.
It's like the bottom 3 steps of that staircase.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard, but yeah, have to kind of find like a darker room to be able to see a little better. I try to brighten it up just to see maybe it'll be easier because yeah, it was. I had to rewatch that like dozens of times, just like, okay, is that a glare or what is that? Because I was so confused. Like, what did I just capture there?
Those are the best though. Whenever you're sitting there and you spend all that time watching and you catch that little glimpse of something or hear that voice, that's always such an awesome thing, and that just makes you want to watch because we have like hours and hours of footage that just kind of like gives you that motivation to continue on. Nancy Weems says that she saw it, so um, that's a very cool capture, especially in the location that whoops,
Into the
oops, didn't mean to hit that.
Yeah, I, just going through all these locations, it's kind of like going fishing. You just don't know what you're gonna catch.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. And then sometimes it's kind of like you'll go through your footage and it's like if once you put it out there on video and are watching and kind of put the footage off to the side, sometimes you go back and watch it years later and you find stuff that you didn't realize that you had captured in that moment just by going back and getting fresh eyes on it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, the Washoe Club, I was gonna say that was the creepiest one, but I think the hospital in Montana was definitely creepier, but the Washoe Club definitely ranked the second most creepiest place I ever experienced, ever.
Yeah, I would say I've heard nothing but good things about that location. So you've got another piece of evidence here, and this is a photo, and this
Yes.
is from the hospital you were talking about earlier, correct?
Yes, this is a different hospital that's actually near
Okay.
where I live in like Eastern Washington, and it's It's similar to St. James. It's another Catholic hospital. It's called the St. Ignatius Hospital, and pretty much I was on the second floor going around taking pictures, and I had someone filming me. So in it, you're gonna see a little like there's like a glare at the end because I think at the end there's like a window on top of this door. You're gonna see a glare, but what you see in the middle is you can literally see like a very very tall dark figure. Looks like he's like walking from like right to left, but he's directly in the middle, and you can see that it's just a very tall person, and you can see through him that there's the head frame of like the middle like where there's like a door if it was closed, and you can see that his head's like slightly over that frame of the um of that picture. So I guess show them and
Okay.
let me know what you all think.
All right. Let me get that pulled up here. Oh, there we go. It's making me pull it up in a slightly different way. Okay, here we
Oh,
go. Let me cancel that.
gotta love technology.
Yeah. Let's see. Why is that not letting me?
Is it the type of picture it was sent?
It's not giving me the option to. Let me try it this way. For some reason, it's not letting me pull it up. Let me try one more thing. I'm gonna blame. Let's try this way.
It's a JPEG, so usually those you should be able to.
JPEG shouldn't be a problem. I'm wondering if it's my location that it's let me pull it from. I'll try one more place here.
Okay.
Because I downloaded it. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, so it may make me. I'm gonna try pulling it up from the email. That I think that's gonna work.
Okay.
It just wasn't giving me the option to pull that up. So thank you all so much for. Yeah, this is gonna work. There we go.
So if you want, are you able to zoom in on that picture?
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much right you see in the middle,
Mhm.
there's like a little door, and then obviously all that little white dust and stuff, that's actual dust, not orbs.
Mhm.
And but if you see in the middle where that's like little white little speck of, that's like a little light reflection or something. But in the
Okay.
middle, you can see right there, just in that middle, that's like an actual apparition that you can see. It's kind of like dragging at the bottom, which is that's probably their feet, and then you
Like
can
right
see
in
the,
here.
yeah, pretty much like, yeah, like to the
Okay.
right of that little light speck. So if you zoom in a little bit, yeah, right there where your mouse is at, right there, right there.
Okay.
That's where you can see, like, you can see the head, you can see a torso, you can see the legs,
Wow.
but it's a little bit more like faded in a way on the bottom. But yeah, right there is, I believe, the way I can describe it, it's you're like a patient or like one of the Catholic like nuns, because it was a Catholic hospital, and I feel like they're like wearing like one of those like long black what is it like dresses that like hangs on the bottom in a way.
Oh, almost
And
like a veil almost? Or I
yes,
mean a
yeah,
train? A
something like
train?
that, yeah. And then on top it looks like they might be wearing a hood or something, or maybe that's just how their head is, but you can clearly see that's um to me it looks like an apparition, because if you zoom out, you wouldn't see, like, if it was a shadow of me, you would see my shadow kind of dragging along the bottom of the floor,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that clear, and I'm looking over here at the comments here. Um, other people are seeing it too. I mean, that's a really cool capture. Any history on that hallway there? Is that an active area?
um it is. Sometimes it is. The most active area would be the fifth floor, which is the nuns' quarter where the nuns live. But on that, it's just you might hear like some, was it like some like knocks or some footsteps or something.
Mhm.
But I just happened, for some reason my attention was just drawn in that area because it's a long hallway. So um
Wow.
I don't know how long each level. I think that hallway, I'm gonna guess it's probably like almost the size of a football field, like 300 feet or something.
Mhm.
And I just, for some reason, I just felt drawn to have to take a picture in that area, in that direction of the hallway. So I took it a couple times, and then I flipped through a couple of them, like, whoa, this is weird. Like, is this my shadow or what is this? And then I zoomed in, and I just looked at probably for at least 5 minutes. I'm like, well, if it was my shadow, you could definitely see a shadow of me like on the ground.
Mhm.
dragging on the floor, and clearly you don't really see that. And I'm like looking like, oh my god, uh, I think I just captured an apparition. Like, wow, that's insane.
That is cool. And everybody's saying over here a nun's habit. And the fact of you talking about how that, is where that would have been. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. And
And
yeah,
Marianne says with a ruler to smack your hand.
oh god. Oh, that would be painful.
And we've got Brian says that he is looking forward to watching your investigation at the Dumas brothel for the global ghost hunt. Hopefully you capture that apparition again.
I hope so too. I honestly feel like it was luck, but I guess I was just at the right place at the right time. But I really,
Hey, that's how it always is.
yeah, but I really hope I can capture again, or maybe an actual apparition that maybe stay in the hallway or through that window again. But we'll
Wow.
see. And
Oops.
yeah, also too, I'm sure you see it kind of looks a little deteriorating that hallway, but that whole building, it's been there since like 1892. So that like right now, I went back there like last summer, and they actually are remodeling to the
Wow.
bottom part into like a restaurant type of bar or something, and then the next
Mm-hmm.
3 levels they're going to at least make it look more easier to walk through, just so it doesn't look like it's falling apart. And right now all that floor right there is actually gone. Like they
Mm.
actually gated it off, so we have to go through a room, and then we can have to cross through a series of rooms, and it'll take us to the other side. But yeah, that whole building, I'm very surprised that it's still like standing up, because it looks like it's in very rough shape last time I was there.
Do they allow a lot of investigations there?
They do, they do. Yeah, they do. Like I don't know, like really any time of the week you can request, or sometimes they'll do like a group tour, like a flashlight tour.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of mainly what I do, because sometimes there could be me and then maybe 2 other people that'll come, because usually they
Mm-hmm.
max out at like 15 people per tour.
Okay.
And there's like where I went, there's like maybe like 5 of us including me, and then they give us these equipment, we do like a free roam. And that
Mm-hmm.
was usually where, okay, sweet, I have a little bit more peace of quiet, I can go to these places, and just, yeah, it's just super creepy there. I would
That
love to go there again.
Well, that picture, I mean, is just an incredible catch, and it, it actually gives me the creeps looking at it.
It does, like, I want to feel like maybe in the motion it was walking, but I feel like deep down it possibly could be just staring at me. It's like walking, but then it's just like turning its head. Oh god, like there's someone down there, and maybe trying to scare me or something. But I guess, like I said before, I was just at the there at the right time, and like somehow capture that picture.
Well, yeah, as Ronnie from Bedford Paranormal says, rather be lucky any day. So, and that tends to be a lot of what especially a lot of the ones that are on the paranormal entertainment shows and stuff on TV. A lot of it is just luck, being at the right place at the right time, having the camera out at the right time, or having the right equipment out. Sometimes, obviously, they show themselves because you're having communication and you're able to draw it out. But a lot of the time, that's what it is. And good on you. You're doing some really good things and have captured some really great evidence. I look forward to seeing what else you come out with.
Thank you. This is kind of an idea, but I haven't been to the East Coast before, and I found this one place that's super super creepy. It's in West Virginia. I think it's called the hospital on College Hill.
Oh yeah, the
That
hospital on
one,
College Hill.
yeah, and that place, honestly, just out any other hospital, that place probably looks like the creepiest place to even visit. Like, yeah,
Chris Sumner, who's there in the audience, she and her twin sister just did an investigation there, and she was talking about just how creepy that location was. And she says it was awesome and that it was a great location. And then Ronnie Anderson, who's out of the Virginia area, he says he's been there as well. I've heard
wow,
nothing but good things about that location.
absolutely, and
So if you can make
hopefully,
it out there, and the folks who run it are just really good people as well.
Absolutely. I think because I could be wrong, did like the community at the time, I think they gathered together to help like preserve the building because I'm not sure if it was where they were trying to demolish it or something like that. I could be wrong. Was it
Yeah, I think so. I know he's the mayor. He's the mayor of the town. Um, it's let's see. Yeah, she says that Tanya and Charlie are great. The video that they have on their website is just so cool, where it's the drone doing the panoramic shot around the top and showing the town. I mean, it does. It just looks like such a creepy location. I hope to get out there myself sometime really soon. Do you, as far as locations, do you seem to really enjoy hospitals? What would you say is your favorite type of location?
type of location? Honestly, I would just say for now, like hospitals or like for example, like the old Washoe Club, some sort of like big
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen's or old hotels.
Mm-hmm.
That and hospitals are probably my favorite, just because I know like there's just so much history, so much events has happened through the
Yeah.
number of years it's been there, and I believe all those energies still stick around because either they, I want to say, they might be trapped or they just can't let go of what happened to their death, so they're there, and I feel like you know those are more active places to go to. But again, it depends on the location. But I definitely love visiting the hospitals and the hotels and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you have coming up in, are you any big investigations, any big videos or anything coming up that you'd like to plug?
Um, well, like upcoming or
Hmm.
well, I am gonna be planning on going out to Colorado. I got a couple of investigations out there. I have never been to Colorado before, so it'll be fun to check out some new landscape and couple of them. They're both like I said, prisons, and after that, I'll come back and then I'll be heading out to Montana to do that third ghost hunt on that same week. So that's something I'm really looking
Nice.
forward to.
And how often do you release your videos?
Um, well, right now, not a whole lot, just because I have to do all the editing and rewatching, so
Yeah.
it takes me like 3 weeks. So I at least try aim for once a month when I can.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put this link here because, like I said, we've got all the ones in the show notes here. But I want to go ahead and put them over here in the comments just so people can have easy access. I definitely recommend you guys go and like and subscribe to Michael's Facebook page as well as YouTube channel. And he's also, let's see, you're big on TikTok, Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting back into trying to post stuff on TikTok. I also, right now I'm gonna start putting out like a YouTube short like once a week, just so at least I have something to post. Because other than that, there's really not a whole lot for me to post. I want to, and it's kind of hard when all these videos they take a while, and then after that, then you work on the next one. It just takes a lot of time.
Quality over quantity is what
Yeah.
I always say. And that's hard on YouTube because it's, as a content creator, YouTube and some of these other locations or formats to try to keep you relevant. They want you to post more and more,
Mm-hmm.
but I would rather see good quality videos come out rather than just people just putting, crap out just for the sake of putting it out.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And it, like you said, like quality over quantity. Like, I want each video to be the best. Like, I try to aim
Hmm.
for making this next video better than the last, still while still staying consistent. And I don't know, it just I try to think of different things to help make the people to make the video more engaging and more like, oh well, this part's kind of I don't know, it's kind of boring in a way. And like if like for my very first video when I went to Montana State Prison, I just literally first time never like made a film kind of like this. So I just started just paying to some historic stuff, and then there's just a lot of, like the best way to call it, like lag time. So it's just like, well, there's really not a whole lot watching here. Like, why am I watching this part? And so I try to at least keep stuff like happening or when
Hmm.
something's happening on the video. So it's, kind of something I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, you keep your videos short and to the point, but they cover great evidence and cover the stories. So I commend you on that, because that is a challenge to do whenever you're at a location for many, many hours and you've got many, many pieces of footage. It's hard to put together a short video that still tells a story, but also keeps the watcher engaged and gets the point across. So wonderful job on that. Like I said, we just put the links to TikTok, Instagram in there. So why don't you, again, before we wrap things up here, tell folks where they can find you, and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, you guys can find me on YouTube. If you just go into YouTube and just type in P.N Paranormal. All of my other social medias, I believe it's TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook should be all on there. That's mainly the main platforms I use. And yeah, I just really appreciate everyone just taking the time to watch the podcast. And I really hope you guys are excited for the next investigations, because I'm terrified, but very excited to show you guys more paranormal events and just kind of take you on and see what the next adventure may consist of. And like I said, I want to thank Miranda, the ghost biker, for having me on. I truly had a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to, you know, see where the next adventure may take.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been such a wonderful honor to meet you and get to sit down and talk. I really appreciate you sharing your evidence with us. And like I said, I'm looking forward to watching you grow in the paranormal and watching where you go with your videos, because you've got some great videos out there and some great captures. So keep up the good work on it, and definitely keep in touch. And when you've got some more videos and different stuff going on here, we'll definitely have you back on the show to talk about some of your adventures.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for having me on. And I'm excited to just watch all more of the future podcasts that you'll have other people on. And yeah, you're doing a great job. I love the videos and just kind of the podcast you do. I really want to
Thank you.
start my own podcast too, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to like overload myself with a bunch of different tasks and doing all this and
Yes.
that.
Yes, and definitely, you do really great work putting your videos together. So just keep doing what you're doing, and you will be successful at it. So thank you everybody for your wonderful comments and for your questions. We had some great questions tonight, and definitely
you.
go on there, like, follow, and subscribe to Michael's channels. And like I said, if you're in the area, definitely come by and see us here at the historic Scott County Jail for our Blessing of the Bikes this weekend. Book you a paranormal investigation, or look at some of our after dark events that we've got going on. Also, I just want to mention, Michael, I was looking here in the comments. We've had a lot of folks mention some great places that you need to visit. Get over here over to the East Coast and check out, of course, Trans Allegheny. And Chris says you definitely want to go to the Exchange Hotel in Gordonsville, Virginia, Harriman Hospital in Tennessee, and Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee. And those are just down the road from us here at the jail, and you'll have to come see us at the jail whenever you go to those hospitals.
One last thing. I think my dream location to go to on the East Coast. Well, it's close enough to East Coast. That would be the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in, I think, Louisville,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's my dream. I really want to go visit there.
That is a great location. And talk about, as soon as you crest that hill and start to, and you see it, it's just an overwhelming presence whenever you see it, whenever you crest the hill. So definitely get over here, check it out. And as Ronnie says, St. Albans. And on that note, with St. Albans, let me get I do want to pull up the correct site here, because I did not have it pulled up correctly before. um let's see, on their Facebook page, And that looks like that is EnigmaCon's 2022. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time finding the page here. There it is, 2023. Yes, so definitely next weekend. Very, very excited about that. And that is somewhere you need to check out when you come over here is St. Albans Sanatorium. That place is very active. So we will be there for EnigmaCons. Let me get that pulled up here on April 22nd. As I said earlier at the top of the hour of the show that I'd seen a post that said that the tickets were sold out for the VIP ghost hunt as well as for the speakers and such. But definitely come check that out and hope to see you guys. I hope to do a live from there. I know in years past I've done a live there at St. Albans during my investigation there. So hopefully I'll be able to do that again this year. So that'll I'll either be going live on April 21st on that Friday night or possibly on April 22nd later that night whenever we do the investigation. So stay tuned for that on the Ghost Biker Explorations Facebook page and YouTube channel there. So I always enjoy being able to do lives at these locations because you never know what's going to happen. So yes, thank you all so much. Next week, we do have Mr. Chuck Sutherland from Michigan. We're going to be talking about his page Time Is Now and talking about cryptids, maybe a little bit of paranormal, but mostly be talking about cryptids next week. We very excited. He's been a friend of mine since I started doing this. So I'm very excited to have him as a first time guest on the show here. So we definitely be on the lookout for that, as well as, like I said, St. Albans next weekend, and then some other events that we'll be announcing very soon as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful week. Tune in then and come by and see me next weekend. Thank you again, Michael.
Thank you.